All right, gym owners, personal trainers, health coaches, we've got to talk about this. This is really important, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now. And this is where I want to walk you through exactly what it is that is working with coaches all around the world to actually be able to build their business. Because you might be stressing about what's going on right now, and this is the issue that we're going to have to really look at. And really, at the end of the day, this is where you can either be one of three different parts. You could be in the part that essentially maybe your business isn't going to work. Maybe you can kind of ride yourself through this, or maybe you can really propel your business and help so many people around the world that are in the desperate need of what it is today that is actually happening. So what we know for certain right now for sure is we know what's going on in the world, what's happening in your business, and this is you right now. Now, in the last 72 hours, I've been talking in numerous masterminds with some of the best, and this is what they're saying with what it is that we need to do to be able to actually build our business. I'm going to walk you through that right now. So stick with me to the end, because we're going to go through three critical campaigns that you need to be working on, which we actually already know is working because we've rolled this out with boardroom members. Inner Circle members got this morning, and people are already getting leads, signing on clients. So let's go through this. So we know this is you right now. Now, what so many of the world's best are actually talking about is we need to really be planning all the way down the track and really looking 3 years ahead down on what is actually going on. And really, if you look at what some of the top people are saying with what's happening, they're saying that this is really going to be affecting us for about 18 to 24 months. Now, this is where we need to be able to look at, okay, where are the scenarios of what it is that we need to be able to do? Because really, for sure, we know that there's going to be a few things that happen. There is going to be the people that end up on the red line right now. And the problem is happens when you lose your clients, your gym has to get shut down, you've got no other way to make money, you literally don't have financial security with everything that's happening in the economic climate right now. And this really happens when you do nothing. And I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to be on the red line whatsoever. Now, there's another kind of part of this process where a lot of people end up just like riding their way through it. Now, really, history repeats itself, and it's not like we can't look back too far to see what's happening in other recessions, downturns, issues in what's happening with the world. And a lot of people ride their way through it. And at the end of the time, at let's say the 3-year mark that we're looking ahead for right now, making sure, can we actually make sure that we build a successful business, and looking at that 3-year mark as the target, a lot of people riding their way through it isn't really actually being in the same point, because then you're actually 3 years behind, and that isn't really good. So at the end of this really happens from doing something. And this is what we find a lot of health and fitness coaches and gym owners doing right now. They're scattered. They're not sure what to do, how to pivot, how to actually communicate with their market, how to keep their clients, how to get more clients. And they're trying to do something. And a lot of that something is the old stuff. It's the old funnels, old campaigns, old things that might have worked for them before. They might have seen other people doing, and it hasn't worked for them. Now, there's another way that we need to be able to look at this. And this is what we're already starting to see. You can continue to build your business, and it can grow. But what happens is, after adversity, there's always opportunity. This is where you can grow your business, because we want to be able to really make sure that you are taking advantage of the opportunity at hand. And so you want to be able to focus on, okay, well, how do we get on the green line? Because there's a couple of things that we need to really be able to look at right now. And this is what actually happens. The best time to act is now. This is the time that you've got the ability to be able to move quickly, because speed of execution is king at this time right now. And this is what you're going to be able to do. So it's doing the right thing in the right order. Because if you think about it, if you wait, let's say 12 months down the track from now till you start to do something, the distance between you being on the red line and you being on the green line, it's pretty big. And that's not a good thing, because it's hard for you to be able to actually get across from the red to the green. Now, if you also look, if you wait, let's say 24 months, 18 to 24 months, the distance between you being on the red line and you being on the green line, it's nearly impossible to actually try and bridge that gap. And I don't want that for you. So this is where we need to look at it. The fastest thing you need to be able to do is start doing and getting on the right action steps, the right projects that get you acting now on this green line to have the trajectory for what it is that you need to be able to do. And this is why it's so important. This is what we're actually doing. So let's make this really practical right now. Let's actually talk about the campaigns that you need to be able to look at, because ultimately there is, I'll try and draw this neatly for you. There's the sales process, the funnel that I'm sure you've seen before. And what really happens is we need to break this down into a couple of key segments right now. Now we've got the top of the funnel, we've got middle of funnel, and we've got bottom of funnel. Now, one of the biggest issues so many health coaches make is they're putting the same message out to absolutely everybody, and that doesn't work because we need to be very specific depending on in the top of funnel, middle funnel, or bottom of funnel. Now, when you look at the different types and you go, okay, well, what's happening here in these different levels? And this is why we have to talk differently. This is why you have to have specific campaigns for each of these. These people are going to be skeptical. These people are skeptical of what's going on. Cold and top of funnel audience are the people that haven't seen you before. And so they're going to be like, well, I'm not too sure what this guy or girl really is doing. Is this the right thing for me? They're skeptical. Once you get someone into the middle of funnel, they started to consume your stuff, you've got them into the actual pipeline of what's happening, then what we actually have is them going to be actually curious about where it is that you are. And that's where that's funny, where you are. And so what you need to be able to think about right now is, okay, how do I get someone that is skeptical to then moving down so they're curious and they know what you're actually about? Because then when we take them to the bottom of the funnel, then they're going to be hot to be able to actually make a sale right here. That's when you get the new client. New clients. That's you right now. So there's 3 campaigns that we need to be able to do to actually make this happen right now. And that is going to be, let's make this here. The first campaign that you need at the end of the day, number 1, is going to be an audience building campaign. So you need to think about right now the people that you want to be able to actually coach. How do you actually help them? How do you put a message in front of them, in front of a skeptical person that starts to build your audience? And this is where we can start to automate. This is where we can start to use technology in your favor. Because then the second campaign that you need to be able to build, we call this the funnel filling campaign. This is when we actually start building your lists. This is when we actually start getting people really driving into your sales pipeline for you to be able to take into what we call the third campaign, which is appointment setting. Now, a lot of coaches are using conversations, phone calls, video calls to be able to actually do the selling of their programs. If you're doing it, say, through a sales page or a webinar or a sales video, then the appointment setting is simply just driving them to ensure they go through that critical piece of content for what they need to be able to do. So this is where you need to ask yourself with what it is that you have. You've got to ask, do you have an audience building campaign up and running now? Do you have a funnel filling campaign right now? And do you have an appointment setting campaign? Because they're the 3 critical things that we are all working on as a community right now to make sure that we bring it through to build a business. Because remember, the time to actually get this rocking and rolling is right now. I want to make sure that you are on the steady green line to build the business that it is that you really want, because I know that we can get through this. Think about what's going on right now. So many people's health and fitness are at risk. We need to be able to step up as a health and fitness community to actually be able to help these people. We need to step up to be able to do something about our businesses, to give ourselves financial security down the track, to be able to provide for our families as well. And it's the time right now. So if you're actually willing to be able to do something, because at the end of the day, the people that are on this green line, these are the people that know that they need to act now and that they need to be able to see the results down the future, that they know that at the end of the day, this is really only going to happen by doing the smart things. And this is literally why, because this is not a cookie cutter solution that we can do this through. It has to be precise for where you're at, where your market is at, how your business is currently set up, and what it is that you actually want to build and evolve this into. So that's why me and the team, we're literally opening up brainstorm sessions right now. We're going to strategize in exactly what you need to be able to do to actually build the business that you want. So if you want to do smart things, if you want to be on the green line, if you want to take advantage of the actual great opportunities at hand right now, then I'll pop a link below this video for you to be able to simply be able to get into a strategy session with me and my team. We'll be able to sit down, brainstorm, and strategize on what it is that you need to be able to do. And also, just chill out. There is nothing to buy on this call as well. It is simply us to figure out, can we actually help you first? And can we actually give you the plan? Worst case scenario, you take the plan, you run with it. Because literally, over the last 48 hours, I've just been getting just crazy amounts of Instagram DMs and emails from coaches that are worried. They're simply scared about what the future holds right now. They're seeing everything that's going on, and it's time to do something about it right now. And you can, because we're going to see what the actual clients are doing. And I'm going to show you the snippets as well. I'm going to show you actually one gym owner that's been able to go literally from closing his gyms to building a 7-figure online coaching business in 24 hours. And I know that sounds absolutely crazy. And that's why I wanted to show you the social proof of how this actually works as well. So if you want to do these smart things, if you want to actually ride through this, and if you want to thrive through this and not just survive, the time is actually to do something. The only thing that we can actually do now that I can say, hey, I'm confident in what it is that we need to do, we need to figure out what your best next steps are as well. So click the link below and I'll chat with you real soon and have some more coaching sessions coming up for you real soon.
And I was at this gym and I sold for the year $39,000 worth of personal training within that very instant.
In the next 9 months, when really, if you don't invest in yourself, none of this is ever going to happen.
But what I can say is get yourself a good coach that has been there, that knows the processes, that can help you implement exactly what fits your business model. And I'm truly thankful for everything that Chris and the cartel has done for me, even now in just 4 weeks. And I can't wait for what's gonna happen in 2020.
This is the real deal, and this is the place to be. This is gonna have an impact on your life, your relationships. You're gonna earn a stack load more money, and you're gonna have a bigger impact on the world. I guess where you get to really rub shoulders, and you will have a massive impact on the world. You will end up earning a whole lot more money, and to be honest, you'll have a whole lot more time as well.
We were so excited when we found the cartel and that they were able to come in with a systemized program and show us step by step along the way of what to do and the procedures to follow in order to grow our business.
Hey, my name is Chris, and I think that the Coaches Cartel is a fantastic coaching group to get into. Now, I know that you think I'm probably getting paid to do this, and I'm actually not. I think that this program is really great for a bunch of reasons. One is I've been a part of a couple of coaching groups, although they've been awesome. I absolutely love the coaching from them. I just love the way how you can still have a successful business without having to spend 18, 20 hours a day into it, with an easy system to follow that gives you an idea of where you're at right now, where you want to go, and how we can bridge that gap. And I found no better system than the Coaches Cartel to be able to help me do that while having the ability to still go to my daughter's swim classes, go to dance, be able to have Monday lunches with my kids. And so I'm not having to feel guilty upon doing that, all while building an online business that's going to be able to break through not only some crazy recession, but more importantly, touch and help people's lives in a way better way and make a greater impact on those that I work with outside of just a regular gym. So if you're looking for a group that's going to allow you the freedom you actually want to have and not have to spend hours inside your facility, the Coaches Cartel is a fantastic thing. The staff, Chris, Adrian, Callum, all those guys that work with them are fantastic and very great. So if that's what you want, this group is definitely the one to join.